So welcome back. We have two presenting companies right now, starting with Idan Cohen, CEO of Reflectiz. Hi, Idan.
Hey, happy to be here.
Happy to have you. So we're going to focus on how to unleash the power of your web third-party application. So please enlighten us a little.
Happily. So hey everyone, I hope you're enjoying the conference so far. I will talk a bit about Reflectiz and how we can help you unleash the power of your third-party applications. A bit about me. My name is Idan Cohen. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Reflectiz, came from the cyber IDA forces, been managing several cybersecurity companies in Israel, both on the offensive security world and the defensive security world. I have a lot of expertise in that area. And let's go straight to business. So every organization today have some kind of digital website. You have your bank website, your insurance company, any type of transactions or online interface. You need to use many third-party applications, digital applications, in order to make your site and your digital presence worth the effort. And it can be social integrations tools, and it can be analytics tools, engagement tools, open sources, so many tools that running in every one of your websites. And from our research, it can raise up to 50, 60, 17 different third-party applications on a given website. So when you're going to your best website of your bank or sign of your credit card company's online sources, you can see the live chat that is an outsourced digital tool or some kind of engagement tool that you're running there. And all of these third-party apps, while they are very good in the aspect of new site richer and more easy to use, create a big challenge when we are thinking about security and privacy. And the challenge is that those applications, those third-party apps, are actually insertable part of your website, meaning that when I'm the user and I'm browsing your website, I can distinguish between what is belong to the bank, what is belong to the insurance company, and what is the third-party app, what is this application that's running on the user. And because of the user can't really distinguish, you don't know when you're communicating with a third party or communicating with the site itself. But that's not only the problem. The problem is that those applications most of the time are actually loaded externally, loading from remote, they are third parties. And when you are loading tools from a third-party location, you actually open you to a new type of risk because you never tested the code maybe. The code can change. The code can load it on runtime without you know about. And the security controls that we have everywhere to make sure that our site is the best line in the aspect of security and privacy are actually breaks or removed because you're loading so many third parties from external resources. And to the end, the regular security controls that we have today are not enough. The regular security controls that we have today are trying to protect the site from the user, to protect your site, your bank account from the user. But when you have a third-party code, the user is actually directly communicate with those third-party, and you can't even see it. And that's a big challenge that we saw in the last few years. I think in 2020, it's got all over the news, maybe even because of the SolarWinds acts. And the challenge is, of course, and first of all, supply chain attack. So when you're loading so many third-party applications to your site, you actually connect your site with so many third parties. And when something goes wrong with the third party, something now goes with you. And we saw supply chain is one of the biggest risks today when you think about security for big enterprises. Vendor risk management, supply chain, we're all over the place there. The second risk is the accountability for vendor errors. When you install third-party application on your website, you actually connect them to your site. And then when they do a mistake, even a minor mistake, you're doing the mistake the same. So it's like a merit. What they're doing, you are doing for the user, the end user, it's the same. And now when we all about privacy, and privacy maybe on top of the news with the GDPR in Europe, CCPA, and many adoptions around other countries in the States, privacy is important. And when your third party decide to collect new data, new private data from users, it's your problem. So we saw many events In the last year, I think maybe the most famous one is British Airways 2 years ago, and then we have Ticketmaster and Claire, and so many retail companies, banks that have insurance contact. We actually see a huge growth in 2020 because of the Corona and the COVID crisis that everyone moved to digital, and when people move to digital, the attacks on the digital landscape, of course, got bumped up. So, as I said, I'm the manager of Reflectiz. Reflectiz founded in 2016. We are a well-funded company. It's a tech VC from the US, and our singular focus is third-party application risk. That's what we are doing. We are trying to help companies, bank, enterprises to unleash the power of third-party, meaning using third-party as much as they need in order to make their site better, but to mitigate the risk created by them. So if you know that you have Facebook and you have Google and you have some kind of an engagement tools, but you're not creating a new risk to your sites and to users. And the way we are doing it is by automatically scanning your site on an ongoing basis, 24/7, in order to understand exactly who are those third parties and what exactly they are doing. And the idea is that we take your website, any given website, only take the URL, discover all the important pages, all the important stuff that you have on your website, the account details, the logging, the private sections, the public section, everything that you have, and running them with our own tool that's actually able to simulate the behavior of the application, simulate the behavior of the tag that does enter by tag manager. And by simulating the behavior, we're actually able to see exactly what they are doing. And then we like to call it, we are able to create what we're calling the WWW, the who, the what, and the where. So we're able to tell our clients who are your third parties by creating them a first and unique inventory of third parties applications, easy to use inventory, which detail about every third party, what is he doing, who is it. Then we have what the third party is doing. Is it reading sensitive data? Is it reading credit card numbers, password, PII data? There is a difference between reading the search text and reading phone numbers or other kind of PII data. And last is the where they are going. Are they sending the data outside to a second vendor? Are they sending the data only for your server so you're secured? So by creating the WWW, we are able to know exactly what they are doing, who are they, and where they are going. And in automatic process, we are able to generate very easy to use alerts, notification, risk to the owners of the platform to make sure that they know what's going on and can approve it or mitigate it if needed. So the idea is that we are scanning site without any installation, without single line of code saying, so we can scan any site around the world. And if you want to come to our booth later, I think it's table 8, and see your site yourself, you can just come and ask for a scan. So we can do it fully automatically, and then create you the full inventory, discovery, and let you know that the risk is managed. So why organization sometimes trust us? First of all, because that is our expertise. Second of all, our ability to do a full baseline creation. So the client know what they have in the day we started. And then we only alert them about the changes, only alert them about new stuff, new challenges, new changes that they maybe need to remediate. And because we are not installing anything, and the time for value and the time to detection is actually limited. So within days, we can scan your entire digital assets, get you the full reports that you need, and now you can continue and enjoy. As I said, the WWW, that's the idea.
Idan, that's awesome. I mean, and the idea that I don't think people here really understand, but if they will meet you at your table, you can screen their website live, and this is unheard of. So I really encourage everybody to meet Idan and the team, and thank you for the wonderful presentation and great work you're doing.
Happy to be here, and come meet us in table 8 if you want more details or see the platform yourself.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Idan.
Thank you.
So we'll move now to Romi. Hi, Romi. Hi. We can't hear you. Let's see. You're on mute.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, hi there. Hopefully you can hear me.
Yes, now we can. Now everything is fine. So Romi Stein is the CEO of OpenLegacy, and we're going to talk about the Composable Bank, how leading banks leverage existing assets in digital transformation. So please, Romi, take it away.
Thank you, Tal. And just a technical, can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see it now.
Perfect. Thank you. Perfect. And when you come online, please just ping me because I cannot see you on. So let me know.
Okay.
So I can hear you. Thank you. So hi everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are, and thank you for joining. So happy to kind of discuss in the next few minutes kind of our stand and what we see in the market, especially in the financial services and banking and other related financial industries. But first, if I may just introduce briefly OpenLegacy. For those of you who may not know us yet, hopefully you would. You can see we have been kind of been there for the past few years as an Israeli startup, kind of growing globally. You will see in a minute where we are present today. But already in 2021, we have several dozen, I would say, financial services. A lot of them are leading Global 2000, Fortune 500, as well as Tier 2 and other smaller financial services running in production using the OpenLegacy platform. We also augment and complement a large network of software vendors or ISVs, anywhere from iPaaS, API management, and of course, a lot of the system integrators that we collaborate and help as the trusted advisor or partner implementing digital transformation solutions in our sites. You can see here that kind of our global presence as a direct, and obviously we complement with our partner network. But today we're present across all the key regions, and we have local headquarters anywhere from Latin, North America, Asia. Recently, we have now opened also in Japan, in addition to our offices in Hong Kong and Singapore. And we do take pride that we have 100% retention. So knock on wood, we have not lost any client that has decided to go with OpenLegacy and implemented it today. So let me jump a little bit, and as you can see, I'm confined in a small room. So it's not because of COVID, but it's all related, I guess. And hopefully you are staying safe. But here in Israel, things are starting to be kind of on the positive side. So as the economy opens up, and I think it's interesting to kind of look into some of the recent research that is out there. So if you take Gartner, for example, their recent research, especially around COVID, a kind of impact, obviously they talk a lot that the key thing that drives attention and awareness now is around time to market and acceleration. It even tops, I would say, cost and efficiencies and other things that used to be kind of like top of mind pre-COVID era. And that's what essentially kind of, if we'll look into other things that we hear from Gartner and other key thought leaders in the market, is that definitely organizations are now, and especially in financial services, are driven to think about kind of composability. So how can you compose your and make your organization more agile and more modular, so you could release new products in a way faster to the market if you are composable or a composable bank. And Gartner even goes as far as actually putting an alarm out there that you have to do that, because if you wouldn't, this will make things harder and harder for you in future. But let's talk a little bit about reality. It's really nice to talk about composability, and everyone wants to be kind of modular and use latest and greatest technologies. But the reality is, when we are still looking today, and especially over the past few years, sometimes kind of like always interesting to see that when you get to a bank or to a financial services, insurance, and even other smaller institutions, eventually what you see here, that you have the choice between how do you bring your systems of records. Most of them are legacy systems, meaning things that you have developed over the years. How do you bring those systems of records to new systems of engagements? Obviously today they're around digital. You want to implement mobility, which is a bit already old. You want to have IoT, you want to have AI, you want to have a lot of those new, I would say, digital services out there. But the challenge is that every time you need to build a new service that builds on your existing business process, eventually you have to go through multiple steps. If you're talking about, I would say, a medium-sized bank, they would typically have anywhere from 4 to 5, and even the larger one might have 8 teams and more that are involved in the process. Anywhere from the team that is responsible for connecting to the back end, through the middleware teams, integration teams, and of course the digital team that eventually needs to build and release the application, and of course manage the APIs or the digital services. So hopefully this is not news to you, or even if you're not on the technical side and you're on the line of business side, I'm sure you are familiar with your internal organization. And probably if you go a layer deeper, you would find out that this is the process that it takes a lot of your teams to go through when they are building services, digital services. And remember, you want to build those APIs in order to help you get more composable, in order to release services faster. But if eventually every API, every digital process, every business process to digitize takes you 6 months or even 3 months or even a single month, now you're talking about something that is hard to scale, especially think that you would need hundreds of composable services in the coming years. And you need to have more of a digital muscle in order to react and be able to release services faster, even to your own employees that now may be working from home. You need to give them their back office capability to do their job. So this is a typical, I would say, a process that we see for financial services in the process of creating digital services when they already have existing systems that are serving their clients. Now, the challenge is that obviously, as you can see, services can cost you anywhere from 100K to 200K, and sometimes we see even higher numbers than that. But in most cases, people don't even know, or organizations don't even know how much time, and they do not quantify the process as we typically recommend them to do. But what we are looking to do, and what we are seeing as composability, is how to rethink the problem. And rethink the problem not from the legacy out, not from system out, but actually from the digital in. How can you make your services in a way that are composable, that the digital would actually use them and access them as if they are digital assets, regardless of what the complexity that is inherent in your business, in your systems. So this is kind of where we are kind of going with other vendors in the market, claiming that you have to think digital first, or digital to the core, if you will. And one of the ways to overcome it is, simply put, is to bypass, and I know it sounds a bit scary and maybe not secure, but actually do it in a secure manner, bypass a lot of your middleware layers, a lot of your existing lasagna, if I may, for those of us who know Italian food, all of those layers that are in between, and actually enable to provide a fast exposure in a secure manner of your legacy assets, as a digital proxy, as a digital assets that could be consumed by your digital developers. And you do that by using automation and standardization, and a lot of the latest, I would say, cloud native technologies, DevOps and DevOps pipeline, to help you get there and achieve that, and essentially be able to be more of a cloud type vendor rather than running more of a siloed and older processes and platforms. Now,
Romi, what is your engagement model? If you
sure.
may.
No. Thank you for that, and appreciate the question. And I would say that typically, as you can see here, a couple of examples of some of the banks that have implemented OpenLegacy is that we first help to kind of start with what we would call test and learn, or a more of a limited scale, where we could go in and help and validate the hypothesis of exposing a certain domain in a faster manner by bypassing all the heritage that you have built over the years in a way that could allow you to release services and products based on your existing systems faster to market. So once we do kind of a test and learn or a POC on a limited scale, that allows us to kind of build at a second stage, like you see here with Citi, what we would call a digital factory or an API factory. So once we can help you identify how you need to go about and help you move to more of a cloud native DevOps cloud technology, that enables you to put like a factory, if you will, or digital factory that enables you to release and churn services in a composable manner to the market faster. And here are two examples. One is Citi, and the other one is Credit Corp that helped kind of build hundreds of APIs to their, in their case, letting the Panama Canal.
This is beautiful, and we've been working with OpenLegacy for a while, and we see your great progress and growth. So this is a very highly demanded offering that you have. So maybe just before wrapping up, if you can give us your insight on cloud adoption in such a regulated industry.
Sure.
Where do you fit in? And we'll wrap up with that.
Sure. No, thank you very much. And definitely everyone feel free to reach out following the call. I would say that it's interesting. A lot of the customers we meet, first they say, oh, we cannot move cloud. It's regulated. We cannot move everything to AWS. It's a public cloud or what have you. But what we have seen over the recent years is that actually, even if you have legacy systems, that doesn't mean that you have to rip them apart and you have to do a kind of a brute force migration or rip and replace. In fact, the notion has been now moved with the advancement of new cloud technologies like containers, like Kubernetes and what have you, that allows a lot of the enterprise organizations to actually compete and behave like born on the cloud type vendors. And the way you do it is actually through hybrid integration. And what hybrid integration would allow you eventually is to first keep your systems as is at phase one, at least, and actually expose and open them up much faster and in a way that you can now expose them and bring them to the cloud and extend new capabilities on the cloud. So you are building the new digital logic and the new digital services on the cloud, and you are benefiting all the benefits of the cloud, but the hybrid integration into the backend enables you to do that without needing to replace the systems or move them. So this is a way to start enjoying the cloud, even though you have legacy systems. And over time, you can figure out how you want to move other stuff to the cloud. And then it's not always necessary to move 100% to the cloud. You can find the things that are more relevant to you and not necessarily relevant to the cloud providers. Yep. So kind of just, yeah.
This is actually great, and I encourage all financial institutions that are even considering moving to cloud, but not where, just even reach out to understand more and see if it's relevant for them. So Romi, I'd like to thank you for the time, and you can find OpenLegacy also in our tables and reach out. So thank you very much, Romi, and we'll see you in our next session, the panel of financing and lending.